Who everyone is the Drunken Disorderly podcast. We are here. We are live. Jimmy Kistner is a bitch. Just opening up with it. Fucking boomer. Talking about I have 3 viewers. Motherfucker, I have at least 7. Go fuck yourself.
And we earned every one of those 7 viewers.
Fuck yeah. So go to anchor.fm/Ozaraptor, subscribestar.com/drunk-n-disorderly, or YouTube. It's down there in the bottom. I'm not reading all that. YouTube's random as fuck. But check us out. Hit us up. Cool thing that we're doing now. We do have we're going to be starting to run ads soon. We have a couple people in the pipe that they're going to get their ads on here. If you want your ad to be about here in our show, and then again later in the show, hit us up. It's $5 an episode right now. Get it while it's cheap, because when we blow, it's going to be like 10. You're a dumb mask. I didn't even wear it, Justin. Fuck you. So what do we got going on? So I gotta tell a story.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the fact that not just Hillary Clinton killed Epstein, but also probably British royals. So there was a story a couple days ago that I saw where whoever the current female head of Clan Campbell was running around defending the royalty and all that. Look, here's the deal. It should not surprise anyone that a Campbell is sucking royal dick. Okay? That's what they do. And I just want to point that out. That's how you know that the world is round. It keeps spinning and the Campbells keep sucking royal dick. I know I'm kind of scattered tonight. I don't care. I'm mildly angry, but also kind of amused. And we have a great guest that's going to let me ramble. Dre, take us away.
Hey, everyone. So nothing new in my little world. I'm still unemployed and mostly running around braless, which is a nice way to live life, honestly. So
I wish I could run around braless.
You probably should invest in at least a sports bra. I don't know.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh, God. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Our guest tonight is Miss Erin Pyle, and she is the vice chair of the Indiana LP, as well as a small business advocate for the last 2 years, as well as the communications director for the Ruff Phillips campaign. Welcome to the show, Erin. It is so nice to have you.
I am so excited to be here with you guys.
I met you in person last year after becoming, long Facebook friends. But last year we finally got to meet in New Orleans at the National Convention, which was just crazy town. I got to meet so many great people, including you. And we were just talking about that earlier about how, when people like us meet, it's like, let me shake your hand. No. We're hugging. Let's take pictures. We're best friends.
It's like family.
Yes. Totally. We were just talking about that with Kokesh last week. How, this movement is like finding it's the family that you choose.
Our tribe. It's our tribe.
It totally is.
People you're willing to fight with and next to make the world a better place.
Exactly. We may disagree, but we are always going to come out, still friends and family at the end of the day.
Yeah, we throw a lot of food and it's always fun, but it's a good time.
Yeah, I'm fine with as long as the drama stays to a minimum. The infighting gets to me, as I'm sure everyone else, but
hey, I use it to sharpen my debate skills. I mean, you got to look for the positives. I kind of value it a little bit. I know a lot of people hate it, but we do have to see the positives out of it. The other parties, the duopoly, they don't hold each other accountable. They don't have that where we will literally fight to the death to stay principled. And that to me, that's kind of powerful. I think that's awesome.
I think that's a big, you know what? That is a difference to be proud of, I'd say. Because
we will hold each other to the fire.
Yep.
Then again, I don't even care. Just like, whatever.
Well, yeah, everybody's so easygoing. We're like, live your life how you want. But damn it, last week you held this principle. And so now this week you're saying what about, how can you say these are two conflicting things? You cannot do this.
I have so much work to do that I don't have time.
That's why I don't do it on the internet. I can't do it, and I don't have the energy for it, honestly.
I'm a comms director, so I'm always on the internet. Unfortunately, it's like my phone just lives online. I walk away from it, but my phone lives there.
So I'm actually trying to get Dre to start doing that kind of stuff because she does a really great job with our page.
Thank you.
And it's to the point now where like I come in every now and again and like change something very minor, but at this point I just let her run around and do whatever the fuck she wants, and we keep growing. So
just the best way to be a comms director. Let me do what I want. That's my theme. It's like I do what I want.
Well, so, I know our audience and I know our content and what does well and when to post, and apparently that's all you need to know. So, yay, me.
When you work on the messaging and you see what flows well, and you see what attracts, you see what really hits people, because regardless of how we are factually libertarians, even in the libertarian movement, we still tend to go toward feeling. So when you hit something just right, you hit something right and you run with it.
Definitely. If it hits a nerve, it's going to get feet.
Yep.
Feet?
Grow feet. Yeah, it's going to run.
Well, I mean, like we're just speaking my language now.
Oh, Jesus.
That took forever.
He's got a little foot.
We all have our things. No kink shaming here, man. It's good.
No, not at all.
The more time goes on, though, the more I just have an elf fetish.
Oh my God.
He does. He's just he's very enamored with his wife. That's one thing about Zach. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing but respect there for me.
To have someone who feels that way toward you, and to have someone that you can feel toward them like that, that's a magical elfy thing.
Now, if only I could get her to start making toys like at Santa's workshop. I could just grow my beard out.
Love it.
That's really all I'm missing is like a pair of glasses and a beard.
There you go.
Just get some like snow. What's that stuff that you spray on the windows at Christmas time to make
flammable? It's flammable. Yes, please put that on your face.
You're not going to be lighting cigarettes. Just spray it on every once in a while for a nice white beard.
So I do want to apologize, everyone. The comments are not showing up very well, and I'm not able to track them as well on Facebook.
I can't see any except for...
Yeah. Here's the deal. We are switching formats. We're going to be switching to Zoom as soon as I have the money to switch over. And it's not that I'm poor. I'm just between checks right now. And I like to make purchases like that on a payday.
You're being fiscally responsible.
Yes. Yeah. But we're going to be switching to Zoom. I've done some research and figured out how to stream from that. We're going to do that instead. And then hopefully I'll have a program that'll let me read comments. I'm probably going to restream everything. Do what Andrew Hollister does.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Now, now I have another tab open. Oh shit! And they went away. I could see comments. I'm a comment reader.
Oh. So you are neck deep in being my rival right now, and I didn't even think about that till right now. But we are doing rivalry. So how are things going? Are you guys still making that progress?
Yeah, every day.
Cool.
It's important that we all fight for this. I know we get along so well with Dan. We get along so well with all the other candidates, and that's what I really am enjoying about 2020's election season. The Libertarian Party candidates are just getting along and working together and encouraging one another and promoting one another and discussing issues with one another. And that's the way it should be. And our teams are working side by side, and honestly, I couldn't ask to work on a better campaign with better people. Been absolutely blessed to be a part of this team, to have the experience that I've had, and to be able to work for liberty. That's just, who doesn't want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would love a full-time job in liberty activism. You know, it wouldn't matter as long as it paid the bills. I'd be happy to do it.
On that note, subscribe*/drunk-n-disorderly. Give us money.
Yeah.
So
Wink,
Dre can go
wink.
full time.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
So what are some issues that you are seeing resonate? Because I'm sure you guys are seeing, your approach is a lot different than ours.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
the message is pretty similar in a lot of ways, but the approach is very different.
Well, we focus a lot on the purview of the position, of talking about what you can actually do and what the position is and what the job and the role is, because it's important that people actually understand what the president does. We can't just promise to, as Kim likes to point out sometimes, we can't promise to wave a magic wand and everything just goes away. We need to remember, this is what the president does. This is what, legislative does. This is what judicial does. But we also are making sure that we talk about those topics that are hitting us at home, as well as the things that our government's doing abroad. Because libertarians, we are anti-war, and we need to make sure we have a strong message right now when it comes to that. So we're hitting those issues, the things that actually are within the purview of the position. And I love the support we're getting. I have to say, I love the South Carolina debate. That was a nice weekend, like a good weekend to be with the other activists and candidates in South Carolina, and to see my candidate on stage. It was good work.
This comment, I think, so comments are starting to populate, and I think this one was from a few minutes ago, but neck deep for Erin is like 26 inches from Eric.
What?
We don't have on this show either. Get that enough at home.
Neck deep for Erin is like 26 inches. It's a short joke.
Oh, so funny. Ha ha ha. So's your mom. That's cool.
Other Erin, not if you're ready. Okay, here we go. Full cast finally.
Finally.
Erin!
Hey.
We can't hear you. Oh, I muted you. I'm sorry. That's why. Go ahead.
You had me here thinking my shit was all fucked up, dude, and it was all you. Damn it, Zach. I would apologize for being late, but I was having an incredibly enjoyable and much needed conversation with a local Oklahoma libertarian who I absolutely love and adore, Miss Sharice Norton. Sharice, I love you. I hope you found our page and you're watching. She's amazing, guys.
So, gosh, this is going to get confusing. Which one of you is going to be other Erin tonight?
You can just call me Pyle.
Okay.
So she's Erin, and I'll just revert back to Den Mother.
Okay.
That works too. She's my Den Mother.
I miss you, girl. I love you so much. I am so stinking proud of all the fucking amazing kick-ass work you are doing.
And I was so excited to get to see your face. I know it was just like video chat a couple weeks ago, but I missed you so.
That was so much fun.
It was. It was cold outside, but I liked it. I like seeing your face. So
wow, you were freezing.
It was fine. I hadn't talked to you in forever, so we got to catch up. That was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I love my libertarian family. You guys, I love this family that we all share.
We decided it's called Tribe.
Tribe. I'm down with that. Yeah.
It's the name.
I think it's because most of us have fucked up families and we don't want to associate with that word too much.
If my mom is watching, that's not about you, Mom.
I love my dad and one of my brothers.
Well, my mom's a libertarian, so.
My daughter's a libertarian, and I have actually no issues with anyone in my family. I
was in an hour-long argument with my brother on the way home, and after I got home today, because he's a Trump fan, And it's like, man, man.
Well, you guys got to meet my daughter earlier before we started.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm raising the next generation libertarian.
She's an activist in practice already.
She's an activist, which is amazing. She likes to think she knows more than me.
Does she?
They all do.
I mean, is it possible?
I don't know. I'm a leaning anarchist female leader in the Libertarian State Party. I'm kind of a unicorn, so we'll see.
So what my girls are at least way better than me, like knowledgeably speaking on like Erin, what's that acronym I can never remember that you use? Not
GSM.
Yeah, they're way better on those issues because like it's not something I care about, and it's not to say I don't care about people who fit into that bubble. It's just it's not an issue that I actively work on most of the time. So
my girls fearless. We were at a Pride event in a small town, in a town near us, just north of us, and this young gentleman was looking at the booth, and his dad was like, grabbed him and said, "Don't talk to them. They're crazy." And this one stands up and goes, "I'm not crazy." And I was like, "Shh, look crazy." Get down.
So my two eldest are both libertarians. Serena was elected as the regional party secretary at 19, right? So they're both libertarians. My son doesn't give two shits.
There's some libertarianism in that, though.
Right, there kind of is.
Yeah.
Now my youngest, from second grade until 2016, when I worked the John Cena campaign and she had a change of heart, said, "I'm going to Harvard and I'm going to be president." And it didn't matter how much I tried to talk her out of it. And in 2016, she took I side with, and she walked out into the living room, and like there's Johnson campaign stuff everywhere. There's campaign stuff from my campaign. My house looked like campaign headquarters for like 6 different campaigns, right? We had 16 down ballot candidates. It's a fucking nightmare. And she walks out and says, "I got bad news for you. I took I side with, and I'm a Republican, but just know I'm a never Trump Republican." So far, I still have one more to work on. She's getting more and more libertarian every day, but I think just to spite me, she's not going to own it until probably her mid-20s. And I'll live with that.
Well, I mean, you missed in the pre-show. I was giving Erin shit about, well, she's gonna go through like that 20 to 25 phase where she's gonna be a socialist and then come back to the light, like like Christians do when you grow up in the church and you hit like 18, you're like, fuck, this is stupid, and you leave, and then you realize when you're 25 that you have no sense of community anymore, so you go back.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think with my youngest, I don't ever envision her leaning towards socialism, right? It's like since she was 6, she's been very fiscally conservative with her own money, right? Like she saves money. She will only spend certain amount, 10% of everything she gets for her birthday. She spends. She calls it her personal tithe. She doesn't tithe to anything other than herself. Let me be clear. But it is her personal tithe. I don't see her ever embracing a socialist mindset.
He asked Brooklyn Nader that question, and she said, "Yeah, probably, knowing me."
Everyone has to rebel.
Fuck with us.
What?
I mean, if Nader does that, it's only to spite you because she's a 16 and going through that same thing we all went through.
It'll be a short window of rebellion, and then she'll come right on back like the whole little thing.
Yeah, she gets arrested one time, and it's like, oh, I was
That'll
wrong.
be it. That'll be it.
Mom, that thing you say about the police.
Fuck the police.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Before anyone freaks out, I'm sure there's like 3 or 4 good cops out there.
I'm pretty sure.
I get along with several in my my county. Not so much my city, but my county. That's
how it is here too. I'm sure Dre would disagree because she really hates our county cops. But
see, our sheriff's department has been awesome, right? They look at themselves more as peace officers than police officers. They help people with flat tires. They don't involve themselves when they're not called or not absolutely needed. But our sheriff retired, so we'll see what this next incantation looks like.
Well, we were the only party in our county to host a sheriff forum for that race. And the individual who won was the only one who didn't show up to the forum, which is fantastic.
Yeah, nobody's coming again because it's a death sentence.
Yeah. But what's really interesting, though, in my town is that 2 officers have been suspended with pay, shocking, for ghost employment. So they're literally getting paid for the thing that they're in trouble for.
So here, I do want to defend this a little bit because I understand why people get upset when an officer gets put on suspension with pay.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But we do have a system where you are innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to stretch to the people that I don't want it to, or
I
it
just
means
find
nothing.
that ironic.
Yeah,
So
I get it. I
literally getting the
spirit,
same thing.
I get it totally, but
look, my only issue with suspended with pay, it only comes into play for me at certain times, right? So when a tribunal or a board or another group of officers or a police department has found that an officer has done something that they should not do, and the response to that is to suspend them with pay, fuck that noise.
Yep.
You've made a determination that this person was shady as fuck, and you're going to reward them by giving them a paid vacation. Suck my dick.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But I'm not familiar with what ghost pay is. Is that what ghost pay is?
So ghost employment is, so what it was is they were on the clock while they were at their other job. They're getting paid and not there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mean, I'm interested in the idea. I'm interested in the idea of paying cops to fuck off somewhere else. So maybe it's just something we need to explore a little bit.
I mean, if somebody can find me a gig like that, I'm in.
I'll donate $5 for that. Here's $5. Go away.
Can we pay cops to stay home?
Maybe.
Let's start a GoFundMe. You guys want to start a GoFundMe to pay police officers to stay home?
It's like
you to call in sick.
I mean,
why with a cop?
Maybe they should operate like firemen. Like they all hang out at the police station until they're called, till somebody actually needs them.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Wouldn't that be ideal?
So you have a certain amount of staff always available at the cop shop in locations around the city, and then if you're needed, we'll call you and you come out. Otherwise, you stay put.
Okay, but with one caveat. Cop shops should also be donut shops because it saves them a trip.
Yes. Saves us gas money.
We'll put a whole cafe in there for whatever. They can get sandwiches and soup and donuts, whatever.
And they wouldn't have to take the cars home.
Having studied criminal justice, there are statistics that back up how important it is to have cops driving through bad neighborhoods.
I live in Indiana.
Right.
For us who live in rural areas. Oh my God, I said that word correctly, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Rural.
Look, Zach, here's the thing though. Who performed those studies?
In this case, it was my professor, who is fairly libertarian for someone who's deeply involved in the criminal justice field.
I mean, did he fund his study using government grants? Because if he did, it's suspect.
So, and here's the thing. I fully understand your position on that. Having met him, I respect him in my dealings with him enough to say, I think that what his findings were fairly, what the fuck?
So look, even if we agree that this one study was unbiased and well performed, one study does not a scientific decision make.
Of course, I'm just saying there's evidence does exist, and you can disagree with the methodology, which is fair, and you can disagree that the effects are as big as they say, but there hasn't been a study that funded by anybody who has come out and said having cops in high crime areas creates more crime.
Get me a bodyguard.
But there also hasn't been a study that says having fewer cops in high crime areas has the same effect as having a lot of cops in high crime areas. Nobody's even looked at it. So it's disingenuous to say the other.
We do have data from New York when all those cops went on strike that we can point to and say, well, there's a lot less arrests.
Strikes in and of themselves create a riot mentality in the people who live in communities that are affected. That is not, there's too many variables. You're comparing apples to pineapples, and we must compare apples to apples.
And no one likes pineapples.
Right. I love
especially
pineapple.
on pizza.
Are we going to have pie?
We should have pie.
Now I want apple pie. I told Elfie not to make apple
You
pie for
guys!
Thanksgiving, but now I really want her
pumpkin
to.
or pecan. Oh, pecan.
God, you're like my mother.
You guys, did you see the bullshit in Oklahoma this week? Did you see it?
About the shooting?
The Walmart shooting.
Yeah.
It disappeared off the news as soon as it couldn't be blamed on an AR.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a Walmart shooting. The dude didn't even go into Walmart. It was a parking lot shooting. It was a pissed off ex who followed his ex and her new man to a parking lot and shot them.
And then shot himself.
And an armed, you know why? Because an armed bystander came up behind him and put a gun into his back and said, drop that gun. So that's why he ate a bullet. Had it not been for that armed bystander, it's possible it could have turned into a Walmart shooting. But it wasn't a fucking Walmart shooting, and it was an armed bystander and not a fucking cop who brought the situation to a close in one way or another.
When seconds count, cops.
You want to know why? Because Oklahoma has constitutional carry.
Yep. And it was a good guy with a gun, and that was vacant from the mainstream media, as usual.
Right. Like, our governor is a Trump supporter. He's a Trump guy. And in general, I am not a huge fan of Trump supporters, right? But this was something he got right. And props to him for having the fucking balls to sign constitutional carry in today's America.
When a politician does something right, you give him a cookie.
Yep.
Just one. Just one. So they crave another and they have to do better things.
Props to him for commuting the sentences of over 750 individuals in one day, the largest such action in the history of this country. Props to that Trump supporter.
That's a lot. He deserves a lot of cookies.
He gets a fucking stripper for that shit.
Yeah. The best kind.
Maybe some blow.
Maybe clean and smart strippers.
We give him a stripper and blow for that one, maybe? Maybe he gets both.
I'll chip him.
There's your Reno theme right there.
Do we get to enjoy the strippers and blow with him, though?
Our hookers and blow, is that going to be our Reno theme? Since the 2022 convention is going to be in Reno, Nevada at a casino.
Hookers and blow.
Is that what was decided? I had to turn the stream off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reno won.
So I do need to talk about this for a minute because I want to make a challenge to other people.
I'm a little disappointed.
You know what? If you saw the contracts, you would be flipping over backwards and not at all disappointed.
I mean, what I heard on that stream when you guys were going over contracts, it sounds like Reno was way better.
0 attrition, 0 food and beverage minimum.
Wow.
Crazy low room night. Yeah.
So awesome. I want to say something about this because I want to make a challenge to other people. If you watched any of the LNC meeting in the last weekend, you will know that Jesus Christ, that was bad video and audio. So I, on my next check, will be ordering our camera for LNC National and having it sent to Dan Fit. Well, I think I'm sending it to the office.
To the office, yeah.
Yeah. So that they can live stream their meetings with some decent video and audio quality. And I think Jess actually wants to use it for like doing some live streaming stuff on the party page, which is something I definitely encourage, especially if it's Jess, because she's magnetic and attractive, and those two things help.
And super smart, and super capable.
Let's not pretend that people on the internet care about smart and capable, though. That's not a mark against her. That's a mark against people on the internet.
She's my girl.
So here's the deal. I can afford the camera. If you want to jump in and help so that the LP can get to the level of a shitty Facebook podcast, technologically speaking, I can tell you what microphone, soundboard, and all of that you could buy them that is less than the camera that I just bought.
You know what? While you're doing pitches, I want to do one. For the second consecutive term in a row, the LNC has or the second consecutive year in a row, The LNC has passed a balanced budget.
That's important.
And that is huge. What that means, though, is that there are a lot of projects that we have to pull back on that we don't want to pull back on. So today, here's kind of my pitch to you. The holidays are coming, and every one of us knows somebody who it is really hard to buy a gift for, right? You have that one person you never know what to get. My suggestion is an LP membership. Every one of you wants the best possible future for your children. So for Christmas, get them an LP membership. You guys, if you just become a member and then a $10 a month recurring donor, that is huge. You have no idea how huge it is. If I could get 5 of you to do that, I could sleep better tonight.
I should get memberships for the girls and then have them take like cute, adorable pictures with my taxation and theft hat. And I'm pretty sure that would
and their membership card.
Yeah, do that whole I'm in the LP hashtag bullshit. I'm pretty sure that would be the most liked picture the LP has ever had.
I mean,
I want to see that hashtag, that whole hashtag. With the
and if you do it, if you take me up on it, man, send me an email. Let me know you did it so that I can give you a shout out on air. Seriously, purchase a membership for yourself or for a loved one. Become a $10 a month monthly donor. And when you do, let me know because I want to acknowledge that. It's also a huge thing.
Also, you can become a $5 a month monthly donor to us, which is just as important because we're doing great work too.
And you can become a monthly donor to Kim Ruff and make my job just so much better.
You guys, $5 a month isn't a whole lot. If you're only doing $5 a month or $10 a month, you can do that in a couple of places. You can kind of spread the love around. And there's good stuff coming.
Mm-hmm. So this is, I made this, I think I made this joke last week because it's been kind of amusing to me is I've discovered I've moved into lower middle class out of working class. Go me.
Winning.
I've discovered that means that every month I have like $15 to $20 to play around just with donating to campaigns and stuff, which of course I blew that budget buying the camera. So that's going to be the next 2 months, but it's really cool to be able to kind of throw money at other people's passion projects and at candidates who are doing really good work that just aren't getting enough attention. And I really want to challenge that. I know that like a lot of our listener base is struggling like we are.
Yeah, we feel that, man. Know that we feel that.
Just remember,
for the price of a value meal.
Like seriously, this week, because I have to show up for that camera. This week, yesterday we had grilled cheese for supper. Tonight we had beans and weenies. I'm not kidding. And Thursday night's going to be mac and cheese. This is how I'm saving enough money to be able to make this purchase without it affecting anything else.
We sacrifice for the things we care about.
Do it. I skipped lunch for 3 months and took all that money and matched donations once to a candidate. So, I mean,
I skipped lunch when I was working my last job. I skipped lunches for a month so that I could donate a couple $100 to a candidate I didn't even like.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's important. It's cool stuff. And there's cool stuff coming up. The ONC has cool stuff that they're getting ready to roll out. This Frontier project is brilliant.
Can we talk about that? Because I was really interested in that.
We can talk about what was talked about in the meeting. Yeah. The grand scope. So the grand scope is Apollo has identified a few specific candidates in Wyoming in very, very winnable races. You guys, it's a domino effect. And I know a lot of people are sitting at home going, why does it matter to me if a candidate in Wyoming wins, a statewide candidate? Because it starts a trend. Colorado was the first state to legalize medical marijuana. It was just California first for medical, but it was so limited it didn't even really count as medical, right? So Colorado first fairly reasonable medical marijuana state in the country, and look what's happened today. Right. And it hasn't been that long. It has to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Just because it's starting in Wyoming does not mean it's not coming to you. It does not mean that if you contact Apollo, he will not share information and resources and how to with you, because he will. We can replicate this in our own states. Start small, but use the same process, right? Use the same methodology. Start with city council seats, school board seats, soil and water board, and build that base.
Or you can do what Pennsylvania did. Shout out to them and just go for it all.
Yeah.
And win like 45 seats on their own.
Yeah, just
however
do
many
it.
they got.
No, I think I want to say
Last I saw was 29.
A lot.
Yeah.
37.
Okay. So I do want to. I can't show you this because of the way the screen is set up. Eric Beasley tried to make a comment about wanting to pay $5 for my nudes, and Facebook slapped him with a community guideline strike. So he sent us the image in our inbox.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Hey, Eric, don't kid yourself. Those nudes are for sale.
Mine? Not right now. I've got some stuff I gotta take care of, and then I'll sell nudes. It's fine.
You said, oh, whatever.
Boo.
What?
Taxis, whatever.
Look, fine. If we're gonna do it, I have to wear a
all
gimp mask.
words, no action.
I have to wear a gimp mask.
We got it.
Look, Dre and I volunteered to make tip prints on canvases for anybody who donated $100 or more to our show.
To be fair, though, if I did that, they would be bigger.
Well, they would. I mean, Zach will make them too. If you want Zach's tip prints, it's $100 donation to the show. Get your tip prints on canvas. You just let us know who you want to print it. Technically, I mean, for $250, we could all three do it, but it's going to take a little while to get to you because we're going to have to mail it from one place to the next. But we will do that.
And for $3, I'll even teabag part of it.
See there?
Wow, that's a deal. That's a deal. Now, do you have it in different colors?
Oh, you pick your color. We will buy the paint.
Oh man, see that should be on QVC.
Blacklight reactive if you want.
70 of the gray style and 30 of the black. Oh, they're sold out of blue.
Extra.
You guys, we should all three do a big one, right? A gray background, 3 different colors of gold. Everybody sign it and have it at our table at the national convention.
I was just gonna
with
say,
a silent auction seat. Yeah, we'll just put a silent auction sheet up. We'll have it there the whole time.
I'm down.
Love it.
I will try and get to Nebraska in February. I know you guys have a convention. If I can get up there, if I can get the time off, we'll get it done.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Cool, fine.
Are you coming to Nebraska for the convention?
I'm gonna try. I've got to go.
other Erin. Sorry.
Oh, myself. When is it?
February 20th and 21st, I think.
I thought it was like the 8th and 9th.
Somebody give me correct dates.
Let me look at a calendar. Hold on.
I don't know. I literally am going to be traveling so much between the beginning of March and the end of May, and potentially after that. Just saying. www.ruffphilip2020.com. Right now.
Tell you what, when Dan wins the nomination, I will be sure to have you brought onto our team so that you can help me out.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? I think it's funny. I'm sitting here giggling internally because I know what being brought onto one of those teams means, and you guys don't. And I think it is so funny.
Dude, I am terrified.
I anxiously await your 2 a.m. tearful calls because they will happen, and I will be here because I love you.
So there is a part of me. Look, Dan, turn this off. I know you listen to me sometimes. If Dan wins, I'm probably quitting the campaign.
Oh,
I can't deal with suddenly being in the spotlight and having to deal with all the other libertarian social media people who are going to be like, okay, well, this is our candidate. It's time to help him out, and coming to me being like, so what do we do? And I'm gonna be like,
oh, I got a list.
I can't tell you. You probably know this as well as I do. Figure it the fuck out.
I'm ready.
Zach, you got to put Laura Ewing's comment up because it's awesome.
I'm not getting any new comments.
About threatening a child abuser?
Yeah.
Throwing. So I don't know if that's supposed to say throwing taxes or throwing axes.
Taxes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Child abuser supporter. So I'm going to see Eric and Laura in 6 weeks.
Yay!
Yay! I'm going to spend New Year's Eve at their house.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I'm taking my first vacation, which means no political work.
Ha! You're so funny.
Wow.
No, I'm not.
That is not how it works. You'll find out.
In years. And and my daughter and I are going for 6 days to go between Maryland and Virginia, DC, and Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Fun.
Really excited.
Road trip.
Charge your Bluetooth headset because you'll be using it.
So I'm really, really excited. My only thing is I'm not going through West Virginia because I don't like that state to drive through. No.
I've never driven through West Virginia.
Right
I'm trying to think if I have.
There's no signal. There's nothing. And I have vertigo. So when you're driving on bridges that like literally have no bottoms, it's super fun. And all I'm just saying is, please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die.
For me, that's every time I have to cross over into Tennessee and there's that really long fucking bridge over the river down there. And I'm just
okay
like,
with that one. It's when I can't.
I have to have someone else drive over it. And the times I've had to drive over it, it was like.
I can only imagine what NOLA was like for me at the convention.
Oh, like, I totally like, I'm going to sleep while we cross this bridge.
so well, not even that. Like, so there was the bridge, which shout out to Russell and Jared for driving in NOLA because I would have had a heart attack. Let's just be honest. But the convention center, because LPIN, I helped set up a meet and greet with candidates, LNC members, with our delegates. And we were on like the 12th floor. So me going up this glass elevator and then me right next to this like railing. And I know it's like 6 feet, right? 6 feet wide, but my vertigo is like, you're going to die. So I'm like crawling along the walls. Like, I'm that person. Like people are just casually strolling and I'm like a sloth.
Do we all four have issues with bridges, or is it just the three of us and not Dre?
Oh, I have it. Yeah, fuck bridges.
It's all of us, right?
That's why I was made short, so I can be super low to the ground.
So I roll down my windows, take off my seatbelt. Like
I do too.
Where you can cut the seatbelt.
I want to be able to get the fuck out of there if we go over if the bridge collapses.
What's a seatbelt? I lost that in a boating accident.
I fall out if I don't have my seatbelt on. I've been in too many car accidents.
I work 5 blocks from my house. I do not wear a seatbelt.
The worst bridge for me.
Come get me.
The worst bridge for me ever, and I've had to drive across a few, is the Mackinac Bridge in northern Michigan. It's a suspension bridge, and it just blows. There was one year, I think at the Belle Isle Bridge, that a woman's Yugo got blown off the bridge.
Oh my God.
I can't remember the name of the bridge. It's northern. It's New York. It's going toward Niagara Falls. I went there like 15 years ago, and it was all foggy. So I'm like literally, it's just like, and this thing is just going up and turning, and I'm like, what are we going into? Godzilla's mouth? Like, what's next? Ready to go. Ready to die.
That would not. We'd have stopped. My car would have fucking dead ass stopped. We're staying right the fuck here.
I'll fly back to snow tomorrow, but
I will walk back.
But I don't like to go over bridges. Like I will fly. I am good with that. Man, bridges just.
So I'm gonna jump in here with some comments we got because I'm trying to follow it on Facebook. First off, Justin messaged me. He told me that the HVAC system at National is out and Jess is freezing. So please donate so they can fix it. So I guess if you want Jess Mears to not freeze, yeah. The other ones, Josh Smith says, "I love all 4 of you ladies. Please go fuck yourself."
We love you, Josh.
Laura Ewing says, those Zach nudes are actually going to be Eric's Christmas present to me. I want Zach in nothing but beard tinsel. Look, I can be persuaded, and my wife would totally get a kick out of that photo shoot.
Yes, she would.
She'd love to do it.
Tell her to call me first. There's all kinds of nasty stuff you can do with tinsel.
Josh was saying that he drove Adam Kokes's bus through West Virginia. That just makes me hear Deliverance.
Yeah, I didn't stop. 5 hours straight. Never stopped.
And John Phillips really liked the "you lost your seatbelt in a boating accident" comment.
When I was driving to New Orleans, Josh Dial, my roommate, was with me, right? So we're driving, and we just came out of Natchitoches, maybe Natchez.
Fuck kind of name is that?
Insert name here.
Not how it's spelled, and I'm probably butchering it. So apologies to anybody from Louisiana who knows that I'm butchering it. But we
those aren't real people anyway.
Oh,
and
no,
it's
that.
It's a 4-lane highway. It's a big highway, but it's thick woods and shit. And he's saying, Erin, if we break down, you kill me before they get me. Dude, do not fucking stop this car. Lock your doors. This is Deliverance country. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, he was freaking out. We had stopped and I bought crawfish meat pies because there's a little French market there and they're amazing. And so we stopped and he's looking at it and looking at me and looking at it. And I said, Josh, just eat it. It's amazing. So he takes this bite out of it and he starts chewing it up. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then he looks at it, he goes, oh my God, I can't even. There are little feet, Erin, there's little feet in there. I can't even. There's little feet. It's a fucking crawfish.
Ew. What? I thought you were talking about a donut.
I believe they call those crawdads.
I think it depends on where you're at, but yeah.
It's crawdad.
So my dad made gumbo one time in our household, and I swear to God, no, and my dad, I'm sure he actually cooked it well because my dad's a good cook, but no, never again.
Oh, crawdad! I love that.
I do too.
The dip.
Did he think he was picking up donuts or what?
No. I told him what it was. He was just like, and he likes the first bite. He was just like, oh, I can't even. They're little feet. I love Josh. He's amazing. And I cracked the fuck up. I was dying. It was so funny. We were supposed to pick up Frank Robinson. Frank got sick of waiting on us, so he left.
I remember that because I was in correspondence with you.
Right, he left. So we pull out of this gas station and we drive maybe an hour. And he left a good hour before us. So we drive maybe an hour and he texts me and he says, where are you? And I said, oh, we're about an hour outside of here. And Frank says, oh, that's where I'm at. I'm at the French Market. Dude, how the fuck? You left an hour before me, Dad, and you were there an hour later than me. I don't know how you went, but you should have waited on us.
Right. It's just what it is.
Frank's amazing. My guess is he stopped and ate and checked stuff out and visited and killed some time. And
he just enjoyed the scenery.
That's what he does.
Nothing wrong with that.
My nose still has PTSD flashbacks from being in New Orleans. I'm not going to lie.
I loved it. I got to spend time with
so bad.
With so many great people. I
You're
absolutely
fucking gross, Josh. Sorry, go ahead.
What? What'd you say?
That you have to suck the brains out. You're talking about crawdads, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my favorite food from New Orleans, Nola, is it was this little shack. It wasn't even downtown. I got lost one day when I was down there before. Not for a convention, but previously. And it looked like a little rundown shack. And we went inside, and it was a restaurant. And they had picnic tables with picnic blankets on them. And they had this deal. It was eight frog legs for $8.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Right? And I'm like, frog legs. Right? And I love frog legs. But it was frog legs.
Big ones, big saddles.
Three-eyed Simpson frog legs. They were so big, but they were so good. Oh man, there's nothing like a frog leg.
Three-eyed Simpson frog. Is that what you said?
Did you never watch The Simpsons?
I missed
the three-eyed fish.
You know, all the radioactive waste from the
Oh,
power plant always fucked up all the animals.
So it was okay. Sorry.
Basically, like a big ass frog.
Got it. I'm up to.
Yeah.
I'm up to speed. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't ingest the flesh, so.
Ashley said, "Stop! If you start a GoFundMe to pay cops to stay at home, you'll just end up recruiting more cops."
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Like I like that would be tempting. You're gonna pay me to stay home? Weird. Okay. And now they're populating like crazy, and I can't even keep up.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and it's terrifying me because I think I saw a couple suggesting that I do even more work for free, and I thought you guys loved me.
Is someone asking you to run for chair?
It looked like there were. I'm not. They're asking me to do stuff.
Look, here's the deal, guys. As a podcast, okay, the only thing that we can agree on is that we all want Whitney to be chair. Okay.
Yeah, someday, yes.
Someday,
you know what?
If by someday you mean tomorrow, yes.
Look, I hate saying that, Whitney, because I love you, and I know what a curse that would be. Whitney is. I need Whitney to stay the Region 7 rep.
Nope, you're going to take it over.
And Whitney is running for chair in Texas, and I think she would be a wonderful chair. I've worked with Whitney now for 2 terms, and she is absolutely phenomenal. She has made me a better
Whitney,
person.
Erin? My cousin Whitney. You know who we're talking about?
My cousin. Yeah, I know Whitney.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're like very distant cousins.
Oh, okay, that's really cool.
We figured out we're both Cameron Taylors, so she's my cousin Whitney now.
I think she never watches this, so
yeah, it makes me sad because I'm always like shilling out for her as much as possible. She doesn't notice me. It's fine.
You know, in her defense, she's super busy too. Yeah. I mean, Whitney works her ass off. You guys, I don't know if you remember, but she's been the interim director of development at the party too, for free as a volunteer.
Josh, don't be sad. I'm still pulling for you. I just can't speak for everyone else. Don't be sad, Josh. Josh is pouting because we're not endorsing him for chair.
Well, we're not endorsing Whitney for chair today either. Like I said, she needs to stay right where she is because I need her. This is not negotiable right now.
Okay, because you guys. All right, never mind. I'm done.
So apparently, Justin tried to get her to run for vice chair, and she looked like she was going to hurt him. Were you there for that?
I was, and Whitney was not happy. And you guys need to stop being mean to her because she works her ass off.
So when are we going to get Whitney to run for president? That's what I want to know.
Everyone should run for president.
I thought you liked her. Why would you do that to somebody? When I remember when Kim messaged me and said, I'm going to do this, like, at first I thought she was kidding. For real, I did. I said,
I don't work that much to joke.
Well, this was really early, and I thought, and I said that to her, Kim, if I thought you were serious and not just running some satire right now, this might be a very different conversation. And she's like, Erin, I'm dead serious. And I'm like, why? Like I get it, but at the same time, it is such an unforgiving thing.
Running for any office.
Yeah, I mean, considering where we're at, though, running for president especially, like, we don't go into these races like we do in a lot of our state and local races, though, Erin, going, wow, we might have a shot to do it this time. We're libertarians. We always look for the worst case scenario in this, and our candidates work their asses off, and they're real candidates. They're real candidates. This is not a game or a satire or the odds. Every odd is stacked against them, and they are sacrificing and bleeding for this because they are real candidates.
And to see the things that they get put through and the questions they ask. And, we talk about this a lot because obviously as comms director, I see all the messages we get. The questions Kim gets asked just because she's a woman are unbelievable. And they're a little astounding. But,
let's get some of the crazy ones.
Who's going to watch your children when you're president? You're going to be able to watch the current president's children.
Right.
That's
And like
how
honestly,
sure.
nobody asks a waitress that.
No,
Nobody asks a cop that.
It's insane. So yeah, we get some fun questions. We get some fun commentary. I like it when I start to get blow up from messages and I'm like, what is this fun stuff? But
So for us, we get, because Dan's really hard on the taxation of theft, we get a lot more of the conspiracy theorists.
oh yeah.
Oh, that's a different level.
It is. That's fun. But you know, when we started, it was a very small core group and discussion of what was important to us in growing our party and growing our branding and pushing out a principled message. It was important. You hear that? That's my dog, my child running up the stairs. It was important to us to represent something that mattered and to represent something that was true and to represent our platforms and what we are as a party. And when talking to Kim about, number one, the actual position, and number two, why she does it, I knew that this was a person that I would work hard for, that I would make sure that the message I put out for her was on point and always protected her because of how hard she works. My job is realizing that it is not her job to do everything, to rely on her to be the person that's the savior. My job as not only a part of her team, but as a libertarian, is to understand that it is my job to push all the people who want liberty. And that is all. We have to be the ones that dig deep and work hard. We can't rely on a candidate to do that. It is a team, it is a family, it is a tribe that comes together to do that. And Kim, because number one, I know who she is and I have a relationship with her and she's one of my dearest friends. But knowing her brilliance, knowing her experiences, knowing her education, knowing what she knows about foreign policy, because I mean, that's what she studied in college. That's what she has a background in.
She was also a military spouse.
She was also a military spouse. She's been small business. She's been in this party for a decade. She's sweat, blood, tears. She's worked beside us. And what a better thing to do than to push someone who, whether it's my candidate or someone else's, but someone who has actually invested in this party and cares about making sure that our data, our money, our work stays with us. Because I mean, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm kind of sick and tired of everything we work for going to some firm in DC and we losing all of it.
You know what else? She is a genuinely kind, loving, considerate person. She just is.
So working
She's
for
a
her
good person.
Is amazing. I especially love the 2 a.m. phone calls, and I probably should be asleep, but instead I'm talking to her while I'm sitting on the front porch. I'm an insomniac. I never sleep. But it's an honor to work with the activists in this party and to be a part of a campaign that believes in grassroots movement and understands our responsibilities as activists to do the job and not to rely on somebody else to come in and do the job for us. Because when that happens, we lose the message, we lose the data, we lose the actual means.
So what's the craziest thing that's happened to you on the campaign, you and Zach, because you're both kind of working with campaigns, and I have. In the Johnson campaign, there were two that were really crazy, but every campaign I've worked, there's been like one moment where I just went, what in the actual fuck?
Oh, man. Oh, so Kim and I had this fun little adventure. And this wasn't necessarily campaign related, but it was why we were on the campaign trail. So we were in Michigan for a weekend in was it August, September, August, I believe. And we were coming back to Indianapolis because she was getting on a flight the next morning to go home. And we're driving through Indianapolis. And all of a sudden, I get this tap on my window. Oh, not a tap on. Oh, wait. We get like a tap on the door. because my window's down. Because we had such a good weekend. We were like, yeah, right. We were like partying in the car, music jamming, just excited. And I look over and there's this woman. She looks at me and she says, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And Kim's like just staring at me because I don't know what to do, right? And then she goes, "You're famous." And I'm like, "Maybe." And she's like, "You're a professional football player. You're Peyton Manning." And I went, "No." And like I'm rolling out the window and I'm just like foot on the gas. Like, and then we were like, what the hell just happened? And as we look up, we're passing Colts, their home stadium. And I'm like, Kim, that's where I used to live.
Oh boy.
He was like, wow. But I was actually really grateful that night. Douglas McNaughton, he ran for mayor of Indianapolis. He had us as guests for the evening, so we got to enjoy his company before she got on plane and I got back to work that very morning.
So the next time we're not sure because there's two Erins, we're just going to call you Peyton.
Yeah, it's kind of the name for me in the campaign. They like to call me Peyton. I like to call audibles.
Oh boy.
Face, it's all good.
Zach, what about you?
I think we did a pretty good job of publicizing the first part of this. There was a boy in 16 in Florida that got suspended from school for passing out Dan's merch. And he wore a taxation is theft hat to school and was passing out flyers about ending the drug war. And they said that he was promoting drug use, so they suspended him. He won an appeal, went back to school. They suspended him again for the same shit. We're still tracking it and kind of trying to put a spotlight on it without, because he is a minor. And
Kim should write a letter to that school board.
I'm pretty sure he did.
And remind them that political speech is always protected speech, and that this child has a right, the same right, to the freedom of speech that all the rest of us have. And fuck them.
It's a public school.
He is forced to be there. He is there under compulsory rule. He is forced to be there. If he is not there, he's going to be picked up and arrested for truancy. It's
and we know Florida schools are pretty fucking dangerous. Anyway,
it's fucking conscription. These children are conscripted into a government indoctrination center. Fuck the noise. That's the truth.
So Peyton, something that I've been really excited about, kind of looking at the landscape of this election, is it seems like the activist candidates and the, for lack of a better way to say it, the radical candidates have the momentum in this one. And after my entire time being an LP voter has been Bob Barr, Gary Johnson. And I'm a little sick of it being so one-sided.
It's interesting though, if you look at the trendings with the other campaigns in the Republicans, Democrats, the biggest messaging that's standing out is the things like, I don't know, legalization of cocaine, anti-war. I mean,
they're all our issues.
Yeah, sex workers. These things are coming out and people are supporting them. So these radical issues, you have democratic socialism being the radicals in the Democrats. You've got nationalists and whatever.
The Tea Party.
They're socialists.
Justin, I will absolutely fight that. Justin is saying, wait until Chaffee declares. I think we can. Here's the deal. I have nothing against the guy personally. It is time for that stupid fucking red and blue pipeline into the LP nomination needs to fucking stop. Put some time in here first.
We're just gonna hand stuff over to them every time they come into our party. Oh, thank you for joining.
I want to be really clear too.
No, thank you. We're the prize. Work for us.
Milk Toad's messaging does not work. And it's dishonest. It is intellectually dishonest. It is factually dishonest. There has been this trend within the LP in my tenure in the LP, right? And it's continued. It's gotten worse. Things were pretty good with Harry Brown, and it's gone downhill since then because there's been this desire to embrace this non-offensive milquetoast messaging. And I'm not saying don't consider compromise. And I'm not saying at all, don't be reasonable. And I'm certainly not saying that pragmatic approaches are not principled, because they absolutely
Because we can be
are.
pragmatic
and
for
we
assholes.
we don't have to lead with legalized cocaine.
Right.
Exactly.
But we also shouldn't be barred from leading with legalized cocaine, because the reality is legalized cocaine, that's the fucking issue. The reality is sex work is work. That's the fucking issue. I'm not saying to you those are libertarian issues. I'm saying to you, open up your eyes and watch the fucking news. Those are the people's issues.
It catches eyes. It catches news. We talk about little bitty things that no one cares about. Guess what? Then we don't get picked up.
When
make
we're
us
milquetoast,
different.
right? When we're milquetoast, the Democrats say that we're Republicans who want to smoke pot, right?
Mhm. And
when we're milquetoast, the Republicans say that we're fiscally conservative Democrats.
I got told today that we are liberal vegetarians. So, I mean, whatever.
All three of those ridiculous.
I mean, if that's what creams your Twinkie, be a liberal vegetarian. Libertarians don't fucking care.
This is the weirdest thing I think I've ever heard. And I hear a lot of weird stuff because I love doing outreach in real life. I know it's different.
You hear some weird shit doing that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's so weird. It's so weird. And I get to do it. I mean, I get to literally do outreach daily, which is fantastic. And I love it, but it's really draining. And some of the things that get said to me, like, the other day, a newly elected city council member in my town told me that he was fiscally responsible and fiscally conservative. And then he said how much he loves parks and art. And he thought that whatever we could do to grow the tax base and anything we needed to do to maybe raise taxes, we should do so that we have tourism. And I was like, I think you ran for the wrong party.
You're so fiscally conservative and fiscally responsible.
No, that is absolutely the credo of the Republican Party right now.
I was just like, what am I watching?
Republicans are.
I need some popcorn.
Republicans are socialist in fourth gear, and Democrats are socialist in fifth gear, and we're the ones trying to throw the vehicle in reverse right now.
The best part is that I started questioning him, and that was fun because I don't think he quite enjoyed it. I don't care. He's gonna get used to my face at city council meetings anyway.
You know what?
So when are you running?
When are they gonna figure it out? Yeah, when are you running?
I did. I ran.
Yeah.
But I got 2.31%. But I run as just a ballot candidate, and
right,
I know
you're gonna run again, right?
Maybe one day.
Look, seriously,
I prefer the background stuff because I'm like a bulldog. I'm like the one that the campaign managers send to do stuff, or not campaign managers. Well, sometimes campaign managers, sometimes the candidate themselves. They tell me to do stuff, and then people complain about me, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then they're like, "Go do it again."
I mean, look, it takes 3 times. It really does take. If you run at least 3 times, you'll.
I ran.
Data tells us you do progressively better.
I ran for township board, and there was just 3 of us on the ballot, and 3 of us got in, and we were actually quite fine with working with one another. 1 Republican, 1 Democrat, and me, the outcast. And 2 days prior to the deadline, the Republican chair held a special meeting and got 4 more people to run. And because of that, they got the incumbent who was there in their party. He lost his position. So they kind of
the Republicans do that to themselves all the time, right?
And they spent money on it. Township board.
Oh my God.
Right?
And probably part of it was that one time or another.
First race. My first race, and I got almost 8%.
I bet at one time or another that Republican voted with you on something on your board. So here's what happened in Oklahoma. For a long time, our ballot access requirement was 10%. 10% in a presidential or gubernatorial, right? Mm-hmm. As a libertarian to keep ballot access, which is crazy. Kyle Lovelace was a Republican legislator here. And he authored a bill because he listened, and he was willing to listen to constituents regardless of their party, right? So he listened to enough people, and he came to agree with us that this was hazing, right? This is college hazing. That's what
He
they're
gets a
doing,
cookie.
right? He rewrote the bill to 2.5% and got it passed. It passed, right? And I don't think the Republicans thought it would. I think the Republicans didn't fight it harder because they didn't think it would pass, but it did. So then all of the sudden, every one of Kyle's campaign finance records starts being combed through. Right. And they start to find stuff. And some of it was like a decimal in the wrong place, right? Like they had to reach. And so they gave him an option. You can resign or we will prosecute you and put you in prison.
I honestly, though, I prefer doing the campaign work and not being a candidate. I will run as a candidate, but I prefer the other. Like with Douglas, I was his campaign manager for the mayor of Indianapolis run this season, and we had such a. I want to be honest, we had a fun time. I got to troll organizations because they purposely left us out. I got to see emails that they sent in response to some of our stuff that they shouldn't have CC'd, which was great. I got to meet some really amazing people. There was actually, and don't tell anybody, right? Because we're on a podcast.
Right.
I befriended the most wonderful person. She was on the Republican mayor's campaign. Her name is Wynn. Hi, Wynn. I hope you're watching because I just adore you. We just clicked so well. We message each other. We send each other stupid crap all the time. But I loved it. And I have to say my favorite thing from the whole time working with Doug, other than just working with Doug, because he's such a great friend. He's like family to me. Was we were at a debate for Fox 59. And I had a couple favorite things, but this is one of my favorites. And there was a question asked about legislation and how it impacts minorities in Indianapolis. And what was really funny is the debate that we were kept out of was ran by the African American Coalition in Indianapolis. And they purposely left us out. Purposefully. It was really, really terrible to witness that. And what's really sad is the African American community in Indianapolis was actually very disappointed in the policies that both the Republican and Democrat pushed forth. But as normal, the Democrat wins because it's Indianapolis and that's just how it goes. But my favorite part of it was when they asked that question, the Democrat said, well, based on the data, blah, blah. The whole room was bored, which is fantastic to me. I love it. And then the Republican, his turn, he starts talking about studies and that we need to invest into and, to help. And the room was dry. And Doug just gets this grin when it gets to be his turn, and he flat out just says, I don't need your data, I don't need your studies, and neither do these people. They live here, they understand it impacts them, and what you really need to be doing instead of sitting behind your desks is to go to the streets, go to the schools, go to the jails and talk to them because they know how it's impacting them. And if you're not listening to them, you're just in your ivory tower telling them what to do instead of asking them what does and doesn't work. And it killed. And the whole room was lit up. People were like so excited. I had people turning back to me going, yeah. And I was like, fuck off. Like I was so excited. And the rest of the debate, people listened to him and the candidates were going, I agree with Doug, or yes, what Doug said is right. And I'm like, number one, you don't say that during the debate. That's like rule number one. You don't say your competitor's right. You just add to it. But after the debate was over, he got bombarded by the media. And even the Indianapolis Star, which does not like the LPIN, interviewed him. But after all of that, the security guard for the night came up to us and thanked us and told us how connected he felt with that message that we were putting out. And on election night, showed up to the LPIN election party and hung out with us. And we've sent him an invite to our holiday party. So because of Doug and because of Doug's hard work and because of what Doug allowed me to join his team and work with him and help push out messages that the other parties loved. And guess what? They used our rhetoric. What a shocker.
That's always a double-edged sword for me, though, right?
It is. It's hard. But we added someone else into the family, someone else into the fold, someone else who is a part of our tribe.
I mean, that's an advantage.
That's amazing.
It's an advantage. Usually when they steal our rhetoric, they don't actually show up and try to get involved.
It's just words, not action.
They're just stealing our rhetoric.
And his boobs.
Yeah, it's like just Zach and his boobs are just words and not action. I miss you.
But no, I very much, I don't mind running for office, but I love doing the bulldog work. And that stuff is fun. You really get to see
feel like though, I get it because I relate to that. I feel like I'm better at that than I am at being the candidate. At the same time, it's all the work and none of the glory. And I also think that to me, that is part of what is appealing. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal
without
with
every one of us doing something, even the background work, even stamping envelopes, then, I mean, that's what it takes.
I like the work. I'm one of those people that likes the work. I don't think I would like the work that I would have to do. Like if I had won my seat, I'm afraid I would have let a lot of libertarians down because I would have been showing up for sessions in my pajamas with a flask.
I applaud that.
Like, I just think that's how business should be done. I would have been sitting in there going, look, y'all, I know we're talking about some heavy shit, but I need to join.
But that's how I am in the SEC meetings. I'm like, where's the drinks, ladies? Like,
I
don't drink. So, I mean, tonight it's drunk and disorderly, and you guys are the drunks, and I'm the disorderly. So
I mean, like, I do my shit, and I wouldn't have wanted. I think part of this is part of what brought me to the movement, right? Is that like who the fuck do you think you are?
What gives you
I'm
more
gonna do
authority?
me, right? I'm gonna do me. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm gonna do me, and I'm concerned that would not have carried over well into the Oklahoma House. I just am like.
That's actually my favorite question. Absolutely, my favorite question. I actually used the "What gives you more authority" when they were pushing a smoking ban on the last 5 businesses in my town to have smoking, and they were all bars, all over 21. And
I wouldn't even say what gives you moral authority, right? Because,
right?
Yeah, moral can be subjective, but what gives you ethical fucking authority?
Well, I loved it because I actually called out the people who were pushing for the smoking ban on how many of them had actually been to the non-smoking bar in our town in the last 6 months. 1 person raised their hand when I asked for a year, 3 people. This is a room of like 100 some people. And I'm like, these businesses don't need to risk losing what they've built. These people are going to lose their jobs based on what you want. You don't even go there. In addition to that, they can just drive 20 miles to the next county to a smoking bar. And then what? They're drunk. They're driving home drunk. That's what you really want, because that's what they're going to do. You're going to put people out of business by trying to control it with government use.
Well, look, here's the thing, Erin. What if me and you and Dre and Zach decide that in Indiana, we want to open a bar that's smoking only?
Mm-hmm.
You can't even drink. You can only smoke.
Yeah, just smoking.
Cigar club.
We're going to have a whole bunch of hookahs and a whole bunch of a cigar bar and cigarette girls walking around, right? It's just solely a cigarette bar. Can
I wear like a tutu?
We have a cigar bar in our town.
We do too.
Yeah, but look at
cigarette in there.
Yeah, and look at the regulations that they have to jump through and the hoops that they have to jump through.
Ridiculous.
That a non-smoking bar doesn't have to do. So this is literally a smoking only place, but we still have to cater to non-smokers.
It's insane.
So what are you doing when you go there? Just stare at the wall?
At the cigar bar?
Yeah.
They actually
Is that the one that's right off of Center Street?
No, it's in Benson. It's Jake's Cigar Bar.
Mhm.
And you can buy cigars and you can order drinks there. I mean, it's a bar.
They've got a little smoking room. You have to go into smoking rooms usually.
So the LPIN, we attend our SCC meetings at a place called the Antelope. It's like a liquor and cigar club. It's really cool. It's actually managed by a libertarian in our state. So we have a lot of events there. So a lot of cigars and whiskey is shared around the table in our meetings.
Right. So I hate to cut this short, but we're at 80 minutes and my wife and I are both sick and we need to get to bed. Sorry.
Oh,
We'll have to have you back though.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the nuclear question before I got on?
Oh yeah.
No.
Answer the nuclear question quick.
Okay. So here's the answer. So because I'm in communications and because I'm not a policy person and because I'm not a candidate, I've learned the biggest thing you need to do as a messenger is to make sure you reach your audience. So my answer for the nuclear question is insert whatever Justin wants here. Mic drop.
Love it.
So Justin, you're welcome. You win. You're right. Woo!
Except Justin is wrong about one thing. And I'm going to end on this. Blue is the most libertarian color.
Why?
What? No, crap.
We're talking magic
Blue.
decks.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree.
Right.